Guys, thank you for introducing yourself. We'll be together for next 5 weeks, and we'll be going through this course. It is one a part of your the OTHM diploma in business management. So before moving forward, I would like to clarify certain things about your assignments, what are you going to study, and how it's going to be. Okay, I would really like if you can note it down on a pen and paper so that you can ask me question again if you have any doubt. Okay. Let me just share my screen with you all. Have you guys went through the module that has been shared with you regarding the assignment brief and other things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as you know, we have 5 lectures for this course. 4 lectures will be for your syllabus and topics that are there. We have 4 topics main that we'll be covering in every lecture. And fifth lecture is for doubt clearing regarding the assignment submission and assignment writing. So you have to submit 4 assignments for this course, and all of them are written assignments that you have to research on and then write and submit to me. Okay. All these assignments are related to the syllabus that we have, as we'll be covering every the subject every week in certain topics. Similarly, you will have an assignment for every single unit that we cover. So we have 4 tasks. This is the first task. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, miss.
Okay, thank you. So this is the first task that you guys have. Basically, here you have to write a 500-word write-up explaining what you understood by the academic research and writing skills, what is the concept and purpose of them. So you have to write 500 words minimum, excluding all the diagrams, references, or any kind of appendix that you would use. The writing has to be in Harvard's referencing style. So I'll send you a document explaining what Harvard referencing is and how to write and everything. Any question you can always WhatsApp in the group, or you can always ask me in the class. But you have to make sure that whatever you're writing has to be supported by proper evidences like journal, paper, and then they has to be free of plagiarism. By plagiarism, I mean please do not copy paste everything from the internet or from chat GPT or from even a book. You can use it for reference, you can read it and rewrite in your words. So you will be marked in your assignment based on these criteria: the grammar structure, the plagiarism test, and the way of writing that you're doing. Okay. For the first test, this is the only task. Then you have another task where you have to write an essay of 1,000 words minimum, that you have to explain that what do you understand by critical thinking and how do you require critical thinking as a academician and a researcher. So for explaining this, you have to use 1,000 words. The third assignment is about again 1,000 words. Here you have to write. Basically, I'll give you one research paper each. You have to critique that research paper based on the methodology used. What were the sources that were used? Is it good paper? Is it a bad paper? You have to basically criticize it and analyze it on your viewpoint. I'll give you that research paper in the third week when your assignment is there. Okay, and you have to again make sure nothing's copy pasted. All the references, books, chapters you're using, you have to give the reference to it. So whenever you're searching something or when you're doing something online, please make sure that you're saving the link of the material that you're taking. Okay.
Okay, miss.
And in the fourth, okay, Raida. And in the fourth assignment, it's a presentation. Basically, you have to prepare a 10-minute presentation. So you have to use a PPT, Microsoft PowerPoint. You have to create a presentation on the topic, and you have to record or voice record yourself and send that recording to us. It has to be minimum of 10 minutes, and which is equivalent to the 500 words that we have. Okay, this is the 4 assignments that you have. Threes are written assignment, but they are very compact as 500 and 1000 words. And the last is the PPT that you have to do based on the whatever we will study in the fourth week. And you have to submit these assignments to me by 12th of July. Okay, you have to submit the draft assignment to me by 12th of July, and you can submit the rest. Like I will send you some feedback based on the assignment, whatever you're doing. Is it right, wrong? Do you have to change anything? And then you have to submit the final draft to me by 16th of July. Any later than that, you marks will be deducted. And but if any confusion regarding anything, you can always ask, and I'll try my level best to clear that doubt. The main motive of this course is to teach you how to write a research paper, how to critically analyze what a research is, what's a good research, and what's a not so good research. So please feel free to ask any question anytime you want, and we can have a small 10 minutes question answer session at the end of the class, every class, so that you can understand, ask whatever doubts you have in the class. We'll be having this class this time only every Wednesday for the next 5 months. Sorry, next 5 weeks. So these are topics that we study. First topic that we'll cover today is about what is academic writing and what is academic research. Next week, we'll talk about different sources of information, what is primary and secondary research. In the third, we'll talk about critical thinking skills and how can you use them in academic writing. And in the last, we'll talk about reasoning and writing skills. So these are the 4 weeks syllabus that we'll cover. And in the fifth week, there is assignment guiding sessions. So basically, recommendations, and you can edit it. Please do not wait like to 12th to send me a draft, because it takes time to check them and send them back. So it's always good if you can send me earlier. As soon as we are done with the week, you can start working on the assignment for every week. Okay? Any confusion till now?
I think it's better to provide a sample of this assignment.
Ma'am, I would like to add here, Mr. Farhan.
Yes.
There will be education portal for you guys, and sample assignments will be there. So we will give you, access into that portal very soon, like right after this class. So you guys have to, open your account there by, by giving your email address and password, and you will get the access into that portal, and you will get every materials over there. Okay.
Okay.
So
Miss.
you guys have to uh, yes, ma'am. You guys will be submitting assignment through the portal only. You will get a Moodle ID and password. You just have to log in and submit your assignment there. Okay. So this was all about your assignment brief. I'm sure you guys have got this. There is a small summary here also. Please make sure that your assignments are in Word format. Please do not submit any PDF files. I can't do anything on the PDF file. Okay. So task 1 is 500 word report. Task 2 is 1000 word essay. Again, task 3 is 1000 word report. And task 4 is 10-minute presentation. Okay. So this is the assignments we have. If it's clear, please let me know so that I can start today's presentation.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let me share the PPT for today. Okay. So this is our course, Academic Writing and Research Skills. So today we'll be covering a few things. One is what is academic research, what is academic writing, what are the steps in academic writing, and what are different types of research types that we use in our field. So when we say academic research, academic is something that is very much related to education, and research is something that we are either finding something new in our field or we are confirming something that has already been there in the field. As you guys have completed your diplomas and your graduate degrees, I'm sure you must have studied a lot of theories that has been proven by somebody. So all these theories have been proven as a result of the research that they conducted in their period. And today also, a lot of people are doing research on different things. Some people are talking about AI, ML. Some people are doing research on market value. Some people are working on stocks. So any kind of in-depth study that we do, and we have certain results out of it, either in qualitative or quantitative manner, it is called research. It's basically something that we study when we are very curious about things. We want to check things. I want to confirm if my idea is correct or not. So I'll do research on it. For example, if you want to, let's say you want to watch a movie, you will Google it. What is the movie that is currently being screened on the screen? How's the review? Who's the actor? Who's the actress? Similarly, if I want to find something new, go and do research on it. We do research every day in our life without even realizing it. But in academic research, in academic field, it's more systematic and it's more qualitative. Basically, here what you do, here you present your academic research in a form of research papers, conferences, thesis that you write, be in your master's, bachelor, PhD degrees. So all these things are a part of academic research where you present your ideas and display what you have found, and also clarify that why it matters in the long run, that whatever I found, how it is related to my field, to social work, or to financial world, whatever field you're working in. Now certain people are very curious about, like, why do we do research, why don't we just follow whatever has been there done before. But a research that has been done for 10 years or 20 years before is no longer valid today. Like before lockdown, we were not even aware that ChatGPT exists. After that, we came to know, we got interested in it, we started using it. Now, after that, new AIs come out, Copilot came out, Meta came out, Gemini came out. So, ChatGPT is now one of the AI that we use. But if we do not do research, if we do not work in any field, we will not find anything new to look forward to. And lives are changing every single day. Globalization is happening, fields are changing, we are moving a very fast pace. So, to measure that fast pace, we use research. We want to find things that nobody has looked for before, like what I can contribute to my field. So, what we do, what basically we form a hypothesis, which means that I am guessing something. Like if I toss a coin, I'll say, okay, it will be head or tail. I'm just guessing something. So, guessing something means creating a hypothesis that, okay, this will happen. Now, it can go wrong, it can go right, but I'll do a thorough research on it to see what is the result. So, similarly, research is doing the research, and academic writing is basically writing whatever we have founded when we researched on any topic. So here, what we do, we present the argument, we answer the question that is raised. For example, if I have a question like, why is the suicide rate in summer is more than suicide rate in winter? Now I can find a lot of answer. I can find like in summer it's very hot, so people go and jump in the river, or it's winter. In winter it's very painful to scratch yourself or die, so that's why people die a little less. I can make any type of hypothesis on there. But when I go and do academic research, then I find the result which proves that I was right or wrong, and then I present it in a form of written research paper, which we call academic writing. In a research paper, I'm very clear. I'm writing it very clarifying. I'm objective, and whatever reasoning and answer I have, they have evidence that okay, I'm backed by evidence. I'm not just giving a hypothesis. While doing the academic research, all is based on a hypothesis on a single idea that I had. But when we shift to academic writing, the idea that I had either has been approved or either has been not supported. So whatever the result is, I'll write it in the form of a research paper, which is a part of academic writing. Now we use different kind of writing styles when we write a paper. We use APA style, that is American Psychological Association. We use Harvard's referencing style, that's the Harvard University. We use Shimago's writing style, and we use other university writing style to write a academic paper and give references to it. In this subject, we'll be using Harvard's referencing style. So what it is, how it is, I'll send you the paper. You can guys can go through the rules, and if there is anything, you can always ask about it. So that is about what was writing. Now, why do we do research? What is the purpose of doing the research? So let's say there is a gap in existing knowledge. For example, and I say, okay, vanilla ice cream is very famous. Okay, it's very famous. But what is the reason of being famous? Now I want to know the reason. I want to fill in the gap. So that's I'll do go and I'll do market research. I'll ask people like, why are you preferring vanilla ice cream? Is it suitable to your taste? Is it cheap? What is the reason that you like it? So when I went and did this research, I had a very clear hypothesis that people like vanilla ice cream due to this reason. And then I'll go and I'll ask them what is the reason. And when I talk about these things with the people, I'll also get new perspective. Like from myself, I had this reason, okay, vanilla ice cream is very nice. Now somebody might tell me, okay, vanilla is the only flavor that I can afford. Somebody might tell that my wife likes vanilla, so I eat vanilla. Somebody might tell, okay, this is the only flavor that is available. So that's why I had it. So there are a lot of perspectives that I'll get after I ask questions from people. So that's why we communicate, we ask questions, we make certain assumptions when we go and indulge in academic research. Apart from that, we like to have a presence in our community. Always, everybody, we always, when we reach a certain point in life, we want to contribute to society. And research is a type of contribution that we can make so that we can share it with a wider audience. And we can also do a very good supportive argument in our practice also. Like if you want to go be a professor or be a teacher or you want to go and be a manager, if you do your work and do research and you present it to your higher authorities, be a CEO, be your CFO, whatever information you're presenting are based on facts. So they're more likely to believe you than to counterattack you. Apart from that, research is used for solving real world problems and to make certain laws and regulations, whatever we can use, like all the constitutions that we have in the world. They are formed as a result of something that has happened before. Like if we talk about constitution of different countries, if we talk about constitution India, India has adopted its constitution from USA, from Germany, from Great Britain after independence. So all this constitution came together and we formed a constitution of our country, which is what we did. We localized it to our country, but we adopted it from other countries. So what did we do? We researched on certain things. We saw, okay, what is suitable for us, and then we put it in practice. And again, it helps you in solving problem. Like if there's somebody who actually made the clock. If the clock has not been there, you would not know what the time is. Is it 10:05? Is it 10:10? It's 10:20. You have no idea. So just because somebody had an idea that they want to know what time it is and do not want to look at the sun to know, that's how clock came into existence. Similarly, tires, fridge, gas, bicycle, car, all these things came into existence just because there is a necessity and there is a gap in real world problems. So to solve this problem, all this invention came into existence. So what are the characteristics of academic writing? Like how does it look like? First, it's very clear. Like you have to write in very proper, simple English or Bangla or whatever language your country journal accepts. You have to understand. You have to write something that's very easy to understand. for even a 10-year-old kid so that you can convey your idea. Research is not for certain age. It's not like, okay, a 10-year-old cannot understand my because I have written for 20-year-old. It doesn't work like that. When we talk about research and writing, we talk about using simple language, no jargons, no tongue twisters, no ambiguous language that can make a different things. It is very direct, and whatever arguments that we make has to be very simple. And everything that I'm writing is backed by facts and figures and accurate. So I'm not just making points from the thin air. I'm actually going, working on it, finding things, and then presenting it to outside world. Similarly, it's very factual. So there is no personal feelings involved. I'm not putting out my hatred of something. I'm not writing my biases or whatever influence I have. I'm only writing whatever facts and proof that I have and I have found through research. And all the paragraphs that are there, all the lines, all the sentences that are there, they're connected with each other. So let's say if I'm writing a academic paper on a topic, consumer behavior. In consumer behavior, I'm not talking about production of wheat or SMEs, all these things. I'm purely talking about consumer behavior. So it's very related topic. And whatever I'm talking about, it's based on data, figures, appendices are there, and I'm using very polite and proper language. So there is no improper language that has been used. So these are six things that we talk about when we talk about academic writing. One is clarity of idea, conciseness or to the point writing. Whatever I have facts and figures and numbers I'm giving, they are accurate. No personal feelings involved, no biasness, factual, everything is connected with each other, and my language is very polite and proper. Similarly, we have academic writing. When we talk about in detail, one we have is clarity and precision. It means that I'm using very simpler terms. And if I have to use any specialized terms in a paper, I'll make sure that I'll define it in the lowest end of the paper so that anybody can just refer to that. For example, if I want to write a bunch of kids, I'll simply write many students. When I say a bunch of kids, it sounds very casual and very unclear. Like what kids? Are they 10, 15, 14? I don't know. But when I say many students, I know, okay, this is my audience. My audience is somebody who goes to school and are still reading. Second, I will talk about objectivity that, okay, whatever I'm writing, I'm presenting is not based on personal feelings, but it's based on what are the facts I found when I went and did field research. I'll not use any kind of I, me, and myself, but I'll use proper either second pronouns or either he, she, it, all these pronouns that does not refer to anybody. And I'll properly ensure that I'm not using any kind of names, so no confidentiality has been broken. Confidentiality plays a very important role in academic writing. And whatever facts that I'm producing, they're very fair, and I'm also leaving room for counter arguments. I'm not aggressive, I'm very polite, I'm writing my thoughts in a very clear way. And whatever tone I'm using, they're very formal. I'll not use any kind of shortcuts like don't, won't. I'll write proper English like do not, would not, may not, and I'll use proper sentences and grammar. And then structure. This is one of the important parts of a research paper. So basically, everything has a structure. It has an introduction, it has a body, it has a conclusion. So there are three parts that we basically divide a research paper in. But when we move forward, we'll see what other parts are there. So the first thing is introduction, where I'm writing the background of the research, what is the question that I have of research, and what is the aim of my research. In body, I'll talk about argument that I gave, what is the idea that I have, and what are the facts and figures that I have discovered while doing the research. And in conclusion, I'll simply summarize whatever I have found it. So these are the main three parts in a research paper: introduction, body, and conclusion. It's similar to the answer that you write for any kind of question. As I said, it's very evidence-based, so it's either based by credible sources. I have took field data, or I have taken data from already published research papers, which are good in quality. I'll use proper examples. I'll use data. I'll use quotes, and I'll also use expert opinions of other people. And I'll make sure that what am I writing will present both my ideas and other people's ideas, but without being any using any kind of demeaning language and being polite. Last thing is I'll properly reference and cite every single source that I've taken from internet or from book or from a journal. And I'll use a proper citation cycle. Either it can be APA, MLA, Chicago, and Harvard that we'll be using here. And if there is any citations that are coming in the middle of paper, I'll make sure to use it. And if there's any books that I'll use, so I'll add a bibliography when I use any kind of books. I'll be constructive and confident whatever I'm writing, and I'll make sure that it's easy to understand for other people. Even for somebody who's just started doing the research, I have no idea what is happening. It will my people will give them a certain idea what is I'm looking for. Then when I'm done with the paper, next time come is academic integrity and plagiarism. When we talk about integrity, it basically means that I am respectful enough, honest enough that whatever idea I'll represent is my own. I'm not presenting somebody else's work on my name, and I'm not taking anybody's credit. And if I do so, it can result in different consequences. It can result in failed grades, it can result in expulsion or suspension from where you are working. It may not sound very serious, but when you work in an academic institution or education institution or even in a research lab, if anything like plagiarism comes on you, it's very hard to go anywhere beyond that. So that's why we focus very much on copywriting and plagiarism. So this is what a plagiarism basically is. So if basically one thing you do is you simply rewrite the information, like you have seen, okay, this is the information, you'll just rewrite it and copy paste it. You have submitted the work that is not your own. Then you take all your idea from only one source, like you're basically copy pasting the whole paper, or you're copy pasting the whole sub things, but you're just changing one or two words in the form of synonym. And if you're quoting somebody exactly, you are not using quotation mark. You can also be caught in that in case of plagiarism. Or if you are citing the resources, you are citing it incorrectly. So basically, copy pasting anything, changing a few words, no use of quotation mark, using somebody else's work, using ideas from other people's work, and incorrect in citing. All these things come into the plagiarism problem. So then what kind of research we have? Basically, what kind of research you have or what kind of sources you use is properly based on what kind of question that you want to answer. Like for example, if you want to talk about in depth about a person or a phenomena, if you want to talk about, let's say you want to go and study life of Jennifer Lopez, or if you want to go and study life of a Russian president, uh, anybody who famous figure is there. So what you'll do, you'll go, you'll conduct interview, you will study their background history, you'll study their childhood history. This is what we call qualitative research, where you talk and collect data and then write it in a qualitative form, in a form of essay. Second, what we can do, like I want to know, like how many people like popcorn with Coke while watching a movie. So what I'll do, I'll go to a cinema, I'll ask different people, a number of people, what is their opinion about having cola with popcorn. Or I can also give them a question paper where there will be different options that they have. Okay, what would they prefer with popcorn? Would they prefer cola? Would they prefer Fanta? Would they prefer milk? Would they prefer soda or wine? So all this thing that we use to collect data from a number of people in form of question answer, where we have closed ended question, we use quantitative research. So qualitative is about in-depth and quantitative is about numbers. And then we have something called mixed method research. You'll basically use both qualitative and quantitative research together to answer the question. So there are basically three research types: qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method, based on what kind of answer you're looking for and what kind of research you're looking for. So when you look it in detail, in qualitative research, we basically measure depth of either a experience of individual, their perspective, or whatever happened to them. We do it through different sources. We conduct interviews, we talk in group, we observe people, or we study any single one special case in depth. And we get the information in form of stories, words, videos, writing, but not in numbers. So there's no number in this. And after doing this research, we basically get a detailed understanding of what is happening, what is there. For example, if I want to find how kids feel about online classes, do they feel good? Do they feel bad? So it's very experience and subjective to feelings. There's no number involved. So here in case, I'll use qualitative research method. So in qualitative, we have different methods. We have one-to-one interview. We have case study. Basically, I'm studying one subject. Then we have grounded theory, ethnography, observation. I'm observing a group. I'm using phenomenology. In basically, we only use two to three type qualitative research. One is one-on-one interview, observation, and case study. The rest four are not that much used because it takes very long time. It's time consuming and its cost is very high. So we try that whenever before go for qualitative research, we try to only use either interview, observation, or case study. Second, we use quantitative research. We use to get the numbers. So we basically test hypothesis, whatever idea I had. I'm testing that idea in this quantitative research. I want to find the relationship between two or more people or phenomena that is happening, and I do this through either question papers, which is we call it survey. Either I'll do experiment in the lab, or I'll look at the existing data that is already there, and I'll get my resulting numbers to prove that what is happening. Suppose if I say, okay, 98% people prefer to live with their parents and 2% does not. So here I have a number. I'm just asking how much, here my question will be, how much people still live with their parents? And then I'll get an answer in number. So when the answer is in number, it's a quantitative research method. So one of the profit of this method is that it is replicable, which means that I can replicate the same research on other people or a period of time, and result might not change much. In case of qualitative method, every individual is different. There are differences. Situation is different. Environment is different. So all this observation method, interview method, case study methods, they're not replicable. So they cannot be generalized to a large amount. But in case of quantitative research, I can generalize the data to a larger amount. For example, if I want to do research like, okay, how many people are vegetarian in Bangladesh? I'll have a very correct answer. In quantitative also, we have different research methods. One is survey research, where we have a questionnaire and the questions are close-ended, like they have certain, it's like MCQ. They have to choose one answer. It's not a right or wrong answer, it's just the answer that you have to choose to form your opinion. Then we have correlation, which means basically a relationship between two phenomena. Like in summer, ice cream sale goes up. So we'll just try to see is there a relationship between ice cream sale or summer or not. Then we have causal relationship. Like if I want to know, do if I want to know, do summer causes a rise in ice cream sale? If I want to know the reason, I'll do a cause research. If I just want to know if there's a relationship, I'll go for correlation research. And the last is experimental research, where I go and do a experiment in the lab. I'll use testing methods. I'll use different treatments. Then last we have is mixed method research. Basically, in this we mix both quantitative and qualitative research together to answer some questions that has not been answered by quantitative and qualitative method. So we use two techniques. For example, we can use a questionnaire first and then choose some people from that questionnaire to answer some questions. For example, if I'm doing a survey on favorite foods, like what do they like? Do they like pizza? Do they like homemade food? After doing the survey, I'll go for an interview and ask the kids, okay, why did they choose fast food or why did they choose this food? So I'm basically doing a fuller research. I'll get a better picture because I'm using both methods. But mixed method research is a little time consuming. First, its cost is high, and sometimes the answer is saved in the interview and the question might not match. So all these research methods have their own positive and negative faces, but we use this method based on what kind of answer I am looking for. So this is a small brief on this. Like if we focus on theory and pattern, it's a qualitative research. If we do hypothesis testing and data, it's a quantitative research. And when we mix all this together, it is a mixed method research. So what is the research process that we use? Now we said research, search, search. But what is the process that we go through when we do research? First of all, you have a question, you have an idea, you got an idea that you are looking for answer for. And you suddenly realize, okay, there's no answer. And otherwise, whatever your answer is there, I'm not satisfied with it. I don't think it's a correct answer. I think the scenario has changed right now. So what I'll do, I'll try to find the answer to the question. I'll get the information, I'll analyze the information, I'll summarize it in a form of paper, and I'll recheck it that it's not plagiarized, the grammar is not incorrect. This is how we write a paper. This is how we turn an idea from idea to a publication. It's a long process. It takes time. It takes understanding. It takes a lot of practice. First time you write a paper, it will take you a lot of time. You'll get frustrated. There'll be a lot of mistakes. But then again, when you move forward, when you do it again and again and again, you start becoming expert in it. It's similarly when you used to study English when you were a kid, like you used to study A, B, C, D. So at that point of time, it was very hard for you. Now it's not hard. You can communicate in English. You can write in English. You can do whatever you want. Now it's like a habit. Similarly, in research, once you start, look at figures, you look at facts, and then you learn to make your own way of writing a research paper. So it's like this. First, you identify a problem, then you find information, which we call review the literature that already exists. Then you find a purpose, like, okay, this is my purpose that I want to do. You go and collect data, you take interviews, you interpret or analyze whatever information you have, and then you report it in a form of research paper, and that's how you do research. So these are the four things. What is academic research? Whatever research we do in any educational institute or any research setup, we do it to test a hypothesis or idea that I have, to fill a gap that was there in my knowledge, and to contribute to my field. And when we write the academic research result, it's called academic writing, which is basically based on a lot of facts like clarity and precision, objectivity. There's no I, me, myself, there's no bias, it's very objective. I'm using formal tones, there is no informal tone, or there's no slang that I'm using. It's very structured, it has a body, introduction, and a conclusion. Everything that I'm writing is very evidence based, backed by figures and arguments. And whatever language I'm using, whatever information I'm using, whatever process I'm using, I'm citing it down. I'm telling where I've got the information from. And then I'm using my idea in a constructive way. Um, and whatever I'm writing shows how much I know the idea. Then whatever I'm writing, I'll make sure that it's not plagiarized, it's not somebody else's work, it's my contribution. And these are things that makes it a plagiarized idea, that I'm copying somebody's work. I'm just changing 2 to 3 words in a work. I'm not citing my resources. I'm not using quotation marks. And then always I'll do there are three types of research that I use. Quantitative research in case that we want to study a phenomenon in detail, and we focus on quality of the research. We focus on words and the video and audio data. In quantitative research, we are looking focus on numbers, on opinions. We use MCQ, we use course-assigned questions. And in mixed method research, we basically use both the qualitative and quantitative method to get a full picture of what is happening. Similarly, we convert an idea to a publication on based on various steps. We identify the problem, we do a review of the literature. I'm finding what I need to do. I'm going in the field, collecting data, then I'm analyzing what I've found, and I'm writing and report it in a form of research paper. So this so when we say how to write a research paper, I'll show you a PDF file of the steps of the research paper. It is available in your online platform. You can just download from there. Right now, I'm sharing it on my screen. But till then, any question that you have till now, anything you would like to ask, and we have two people that joined late. So, anything that they want to ask, we have Iftikhar, we have Ishaq. Guys, I understand you joined late. You guys can ask whatever you want to ask, and later you'll get the video recording of the lecture. So you can also go through it, and if you have any doubt, you can always ask in the group, or you can always ask in the next class. Okay? So any question till now?
I can ask after I watch the full video because I don't know anything now.
It's okay, Iftikhar, no problem. Please try to join like a little sooner next time, okay? It's okay. It was a very basic lecture,
Yes.
so
Okay.
no worry about it, okay? But next few lectures will be a more in-depth about writing, assignment writing, all these things, right? Okay.
Yes.
Anything from Farhan or Raida and Ishaq?
It's the same from me. We kind of misjudged the timing because we live in Qatar, so we thought it's gonna be 6 o'clock here in Qatar. So, and after that, I checked it's UAE time, and that's the reason we came late. But probably next class gonna be okay. We'll be on time.
It's okay,
And
Ishaq.
regarding
No,
the
that's fine.
yeah, yeah, sure.
It's okay. Okay, Farhan and Raida.
It's all right. I have no issue.
Okay. Raida, anything you would like to ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'll show you a structure of a research paper. Okay. Like how do you present a research paper? How do you communicate your idea? Before that, just let me know, have you guys written a paper before, did a thesis before, anything like that? Any term paper, research paper, anything?
No, actually.
Yes, Farhan?
I meant no.
Okay. Raida, Ishaq, Iftikhar, did you guys have any written any kind of thesis before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And
I
what about
haven't.
other two? You haven't. Okay. And Raida, did you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll send this to you. Okay. Go through it today only. That you'll be able to. Let's go through it together. Okay. So this is a structure of a academic paper, like how a academic paper is written. As I told you, there are three main structure. One is introduction of the paper. Basically, here I'm writing what I'm going to study. Okay. Like suppose if I want to like when you write an answer in a question paper, what do? You start with the question statement, correct? Then you explain your reasoning, and then you conclude your answer. Similarly, in this introduction, I'll basically tell you what I'm going to talk about, what is the question here, and what is the background of the question. Then in body, I'll talk about all the information that I've collected, either in form of numbers, in form of qualitative research method, in form of facts, figures, charts, and in conclusion, I'll basically summarize whatever I have written above in the body. So this is how it's divided into three parts. Okay. First, we write the introduction. Basically, when we start, we have to write in a very simple language. Let's start with okay. Climate change has been a concern since last 1000 years. So when I write this first line only, you know that okay, I'm going to talk about climate change. Correct. Similarly, whenever you start writing paper, the first line has to be something that connects to whatever idea you are putting. Okay. Then you have to talk about what the purpose of the paper. Okay. If I'm talking about climate change, what I'm talking next. Similarly, greenhouse gases have been abundance in the environment. Now I'm talking about climate change, but I'm basically talking about greenhouse effect and greenhouse gases. So the first and second paragraph or your paper basically talk about what I'm going to answer, what is the question, and what is the technique that I'm going to use. Then we second term we come talk is like why it is important. Then third para is about why is this study important? Why I'm talking about this? Then we'll talk about previous studies that has been done, what was the result of it, what was the summary of it, what is a gap that you found that was not there, like it doesn't exist, the answer doesn't exist. You're trying to answer that question. So here you talk about the knowledge gap that is there. Then you'll move forward and you'll tell them, okay, what kind of technique that you used? Have you used any qualitative method? Have you used any quantitative method? Did you go and do a survey research? Did you go and interview people? You'll add all these things here. Then you add your data, whatever you had in form of paper, in form of tables. Then you explain that, like what the data means. For example, here, it's a table which we did. Okay. So basically, let's say it's a US-based paper, so they have a lot of US examples. So they are talking about, okay, there's a district that is primarily based of white people, that is 63%, and Asian people, that is 35%. Okay. Now this is data you're given. But until you prove, until you give evidence that, okay, uh, municipality commission this, or a state commission did the data, your data is not proven by any fact. It's just a number. Until you write in brackets the name of the organization that is done this data, then only your data is supported. So it's a very conflicting statement that you have to analyze on based on your result, but you're still using arguments from others' research. Correct. So you have to make sure that when you are looking for literature, you're looking for support, you're doing a good job. You're looking for good research material, and then only you write it. And whatever grammar you use has to be very polite, simple, easy to understand. And last part is your conclusion. It basically means that first you will summarize it, but please do not stop at a summary only. Start from the results. Like what are results is there? First talk about this, then take your introduction question and come there and say, okay, how this result is answering my introduction question. In the last, you will give some recommendation of future research. Okay, like okay, let's say I wanted to study how many people watch horror movies. I got this result. But there's still some question that has not been answered due to this. So that's the limitation of my research. So what I'll do, I'll put in the limitation section so that somebody else can go and work on my research topic in the future. So this is what you do when you write a research paper. First, you talk about introduction, what are you going to study. Then talk about body, where you talk about what are data collected, how you interpret it. You use figures, facts, and statements. And in conclusion, you use both the things that were there in introduction and in body to conclude your statement and to always write limitation and future direction for whoever is reading your research. Okay, so this is how you write a research paper. I'll send you these. Okay, please go through it once. You'll be able to understand it easily. Okay, so this is your basically first assignment. As I showed you in the beginning only, let me show you it once again. The people who are not there, they can understand. So you guys have 4 assignments, one assignment for every week's topic. In the first week topic, you have one assignment. That is, you have to write 500 words report, where you have to write what did you understand by the topic academic research and academic writing. You have to use different books or journals online. Please do not copy paste whatever you study. Just you can rephrases, you can paraphrase things, but please do not use direct information. If you do that, it will be a plagiarized content and you might lose your marks because of it. As this is a pass and fail course, so there's only 2 options: either you pass or either you fail. So please make sure that whatever data you're using, it's based on facts, but it's not copied. Is my screen visible? Visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is your first assignment. To create the size. Okay. You have to write in a Word format. The word limit is it's 500 words, excluding all the references, diagram, and appendices. So basically, what you have to write what is the fundamental things that you understood when you talk about the content and purpose of academic research and academic writing. What is the meaning of academic writing? What is the different writing academic writing conventions that I talked about clarity, precision, all these things, and what are the different types of academic research. All these 3 topics you have to summarize in a form of 500 words. You can use different online sources, no problem, but make sure it's a 500 word only. Do not exceed, do not decrease. It doesn't have to be exact 500, but it can be like 504, 3, 5, no problem. But please do not write more than 510 words. Okay? And when you are referencing things, please use Harvard referencing style. I'll send you a guide for Harvard referencing style in a few minutes. You guys can go through it. Okay? This is the first assignment that you have to submit by 16th of July. But it's really good if you like work with the on your assignment simultaneously every week so that whatever confusion you have on your assignment, you can ask in the next week's class. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.